1-800-DENTIST. Can I take your request? Different gig, huh? I had a couple different instant messages, and it's always good just to go over it. And I was watching somebody else. I think it was Keto Canada doing a live feed, and I was waiting for hers to end because I figure a lot of people may be over there, but I couldn't wait that long. I tried to chime in. I guess you can do that, but that's about how my day's been going. Anyway, the comment was, why are we doing a new product? We should stick to the chocolate hazelnut spread. And if you hear a beeping, that's my insulin pump in the background. I know it sounds like a jack in a box when you're with me. So we're doing a waffle mix. Of course, it's easy. It's not hard because with me, like I was making it the other day, and in the little lab that we have here, and my wife walks in. She's like, "You can make pancakes?" And I'm like, "Oh gosh, I'm busted." So she saw me mixing, pouring it. We got the waffle, the ones you pour in there and you flip, and that's how we do a lot of our sampling, at least when I'm around. I don't know what the real R&D people do, but mine's just about taste. And the people that do it are food scientists, our engineers, and our founders they've been in the business for 20-something years, and they've made the best products. If I started not naming them, you'd be like, wow, I love that product. And they've always been conservative and good, so it is it's an awesome thing to be a part of, and I'm just a part of it. My background is sales, of course, and since I'm a diabetic, I kind of lean towards this company because I've known the people. I've scuba dove, went scuba diving with some of the founders for years and years. We've known each other, like I said, for almost 20 years, and then they started doing these low carb products, and I thought, wait a minute, so here I could be involved with cells. And I don't know why I'm really nervous. Normally, I'm not nervous when I speak in front of people, but today's one of those days. So anyway, I'll work it out of my system. It's weird because it's like sometimes you'll speak in front of a large crowd. While I'm talking to you, I'm gonna try to shut my pump up, and no problem. And then I'll call like a radio station or something, and I'll get super nervous when I'm on hold. My stomach will twist, and then you start thinking about, oh, I'm nervous, and then you don't want to write down what you're going to say because then it's too canned. It's not. Let's face it. Nobody wants an article. They want human interaction, and they want to bounce off your experiences. And by the way, I'm reading a lot of your comments, and I'll respond to them later on. If I start reading, I went to public school, and I probably can't multitask as well as some other people. But anyway, what were we talking about again? Why are we doing pancake mix, waffle mix? I may have tipped my hand on what's coming down the pike. And what my response was to the person was that we have such good people with such great ideas that I can't really contain it to one product. And again, I'm just one part of the piece of this company. I don't want to make it, because I was doing an air check the other day and listening, and it made it sound like soup to nuts, I was the one that did it. No, I'm just a piece of this company. I believe an important piece, but a piece nevertheless. But everybody is. We couldn't do it without anybody, especially now at the Genesis. Later on, we'll get good help and make our lives a little more normal. So anyway, we have all these different products, and there's some that are just so good that just because we do Nextella, it's a hazelnut chocolate dip. You could just eat it straight out of the cup. Dip it, throw it at your kids, and then if they're hungry too, you can give it to the kids to eat. And then it's like, technically it could be a topping with it. But it's just, even if it's not exactly on track, because things are nice. I mean, let's face it, we all like things to be squared up, except for the messy office I just noticed behind me. We like things to be nice, but it's just, instead of coming out with another flavor or another this, that, and the other, we want to come out something that is effective. And, like I always say, if let's say there's a product that can help somebody that's on the fence about what they're going to do as far as health goes, if this helps them to either stay on track, to push them over, and to not get too far off a track. Because like with the hazelnut spread, the chocolate spread, if you just dig into it, just like my daughter, she'll take a spoon and just eat out of it. And, like anything else, you have to monitor it. You can abuse it. Too much water, you could drown. But if let's say you're just doing the keto diet, and now it's your cheat day, or you have room for carbs. Of course, this is 4 net carbs. We try to keep everything, in the realm, in the rules as much as you can. But if you're tapping into it, at least you won't go that far off a track. Because let's face it, once you go off track, you're in trouble, because it's that much harder to get on track. So if you don't if you don't veer that much, then it's easier for you to get back on track. So what we're trying to do is, if you do have a bad day, it's not that bad of a day. So you still have your momentum, because everybody knows, like I talked about last time, momentum is everything. So anyway, so that's why some products that we come out with may seem like left field, but it's still under food that we eat. We notice there's a vacuum in certain areas for certain reasons. We all know what's going on in the industry with certain foods. That's not the genesis of it, but to be honest with you, I feel like God's just like, all right, your company, I'm not going to put a bunch of roadblocks in front of you, but it could be coincidence too, and maybe we'll have a big famine, and God will put me to a bigger test. So, in any event, the one thing we won't be beat on, and I wrote a couple notes down on my note. The one thing we won't be beat on is taste. And we were looking at and I said this yesterday. We were looking at the carbs, and everybody's like, oh, okay, four net carbs, and some people are 0, and then if you want to eat carrots, and of course some people are a ton of carbs. But we just figure, okay, what is not going to get us off a track? Of course, we don't want sugar. We want all natural. There's natural ways we do it, but it's got to taste good. Because if it doesn't taste good, it's ineffective. I don't care what it is. And to me, it's the old adage of, let's say somebody says, oh, swimming is the best exercise. You want to lose exercise, you swim, because it's a 0 impact. And somebody says, no, it's climbing trees. And the other person says, no, it's chasing your kids around the house. Whatever it is, it's all those answers are right if you like to do them and you'll do them. You can't, I guess you don't have to chase your kids around the house no more, because now they just sit in front of a tablet. But the point is, whatever you're doing, that's effective, because you're doing it consistently. If you hate doing something, like when I tell people, okay, go to the gym, I just try to do it for half an hour or whatever I could do. And they're like, no, you got to do an hour and a half. You got to do an hour on back, an hour on legs, and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, no, because to me, I'll get burnt out, and so it's not effective for me if I have to go there for that long. So it's just like with food. If you're trying to get somebody to, because it's still a keto diet, you're restricting yourself. Of course, there's certain ways. There's certain things that make the keto diet nice, is because you're satiated, you're not starving yourself like other diets and craving food. But it's effective because there are good products out there. There's a lot, and our company, I'm teaching myself. I'll work it out eventually. Because in passing, you say to other people, "Oh, my company," because I don't want to explain. Oh, we have a board and blah blah blah. But now that I'm doing this live, I should work on that a little bit. In any event, the company is focused on foods that are good and good for you, and they won't get you that far off track. And that's with anything. There are other foods. I'm sure we try a lot of them. I'm sure there are a lot of good ones. So I'm not saying we're going to monopolize the market, but I notice some companies are so into health, and it's got to be, everything has to be zero, number 000. But I don't like the stuff. I don't eat it. Half the time I put the stuff in my lunch pail, and it just sits there. You'll hear me say it again. I've said it since I was a teenager with I don't want to say any names, but certain protein bars. It literally tastes like plant food, and that's the wrong way to go. The way to go is you have something that's good, something you'll enjoy, that won't get you off track. Again, within the guidelines that we put for ourselves, and we're not a keto company insofar as it's not like I've been keto my whole life and here I go. Okay, let's move forward. What it is since we had low carb to begin with, all natural to begin with, we kind of I blame Tortorich, Vinny Tortorich. I listen to him, so everybody probably knows who I listen to and who's affected me in a lot of my speech patterns too, maybe except for the and the But this is live, so we can't polish it and clean it up in post. Anyway, so I was in sales and for different companies, had a few different things, and so I got involved in this because of low carb, and then I heard about this keto thing, the keto diet. I'm like, all right, what the heck's that? And I got involved just through you people. What is it? I see. God, my vision's so bad. What is it? Keto and cheese. Who do we got? Stop the Yo-Yo online. Oh, I'm so bad with names, but the Keto Mama. A lot of these people are pretty cool. You look and you get all these recipes, and I started seeing this. I'm like, I told my wife, I go, hey, I think we could do this. And you look at all the benefits. So it's weird. I was pushing the product, but at the same time, I started benefiting the product because, I'm being a type 1 diabetic. It's your days are numbered, if you don't start to tweak things, and, you just can't escape. You eat sugar, you're going to have that low. And then I was reading this book, and it's probably old news for everybody else, but it was, I should check it out just because I like to give people credit. It's Keto Explained, I think. Hold on. It is, and when I say read, obviously I'm looking at my phone, so I don't want to get credit for actually opening up a hardcover. Keto Clarity. It's a really good book. It covers by Eric Westman and Jimmy Moore, and it's a few years old. So if it's outdated, don't get mad at me. But he was saying one thing about high carbs, and it's interesting that if you have cancer, one of the tests that doctors do is they give you sugar markers, and they follow that to a tumor, let's say, and because cancer tumors, they love sugar, they feed on sugar, and if you eliminate sugar, in at least in theory, I don't know if it's been a blind study or how big the study is, but you can starve cancer. And I'm not making a claim or anything, but to me, it's when things are common sense and they make sense, maybe there's something to it, and then it's great when big studies back it up. But I think if we go by, how we're supposed to eat, and what is it? Fruit used to only be in season, just a couple times out of the year. And now fruit is, you just drive by Driscoll Farms and you can drive past 2 miles of fruit, whether it's the middle of December or the middle of summer, whatever, that we could have fruit year round. And we weren't really meant to do that. And I may be an example of that, having a pancreas that was overworked when I was a young age. Because that was a long time ago, when we would go play like racquetball, and yeah, sure, it's a healthy sport, but you're drinking a super big gulp, and it's an interesting thing. So I'm thinking that this low carb thing, there's something to it. Of course, all the scientists that work here, they'll talk my ear off, but I love common sense, conversational type of convincing people, because the other stuff, it may not affect people when it's too scientific and you're just talking about all these studies from these universities. You look at the results, you can't lie. I mean, you just scroll down, all these different low carb diets, and all you see is before and after, and it's like, wow, at a certain point, that's a study in itself. It may not be purely 100% scientific when it's just somebody standing there with a newspaper article next to them to show the date and how long it took them to lose the weight. But when you see enough of it, eventually there's something to it, and it may even be naive if you're not doing it. So I am happy and proud to be a part of that, and yes, we are making some money off of it, but it's the ends justify the means. I've given probably over a year of my life to this company, and with nothing in return, just because I believe in it so much. If it wasn't like, okay, here I gave a bunch of money. Oh, we better start selling stuff quick, or else I'm going to lose money. No, I believed in it so much, and I promised my family. I said, look, we're going to do something good here, and it's not going to end at the Nextella. It's not going to end at the next product. We're going to keep on going, because a physician told me one time, we were at an expo, and he comes up to me, and I'll show him our products and some of the stuff we do, and I didn't even know he's a physician. Of course, the rich guys always dress like joggers, and have a Krispy Kreme t-shirt, and he just goes, he's all, he's all, why isn't this product everywhere? And he's all, sugar's killing us, killing the kids. And, I just, little things like that. It's just, I love to have that in my pocket for, when I am selling to people. You don't want to sound like a salesman. But it's great to pitch people when you have that in your arsenal. So yeah, I'm blessed to be able to do this, and we are going to get the product hopefully to more people. We're working harder to get it on Amazon, because once we're on Amazon, things are, believe me, if I can't swipe it, I don't buy it. So I do like the fact that you guys are old school, pull out your credit cards, go on the website. It's just like, I love it when, I have some customers that pull out a check and write a check in front of me, and it's nostalgic. Well, now if you reading your or typing in your credit card, that's nostalgic too, because we're so used to swiping, and I'm sure that's getting ready to be outdated. So anyway, I just kind of wanted you guys to know, get a feel of who our company is, what we want to do, and if you look at the last Instagram post, we work with a really good people, like I said, and our social media guy, he's spot on, and that was his idea, to come up with one that says we're fishing. And what it is, we're fishing for ideas, because I know that you guys have so much input, so many good ideas, but like I said, we're a food manufacturing company, and we've been doing this a long time. So it's like anything else, you can't just, oh, here's my product, and we've all had great ideas our whole life, but just to implement them is a little tough now, especially in America. But so if we could kind of give you credit, and if there's something that, because let's say we have 10 things to do, what are we going to do next? I would love to hear from you guys, what you guys would like, what you guys don't like, and just tell us, warts and all. And I think nowadays, if you don't trust the person that's manufacturing your food, good luck. That's why I love, when I first started Instagram, I'm like, put people in there. I want people because, what do they say? People buy from people, not big companies. I don't want them to think that it's a big shareholders meeting, and that's how we're deciding what we're going to sell. Oh, we can make more money off of this, so we're going to sell this. No, I want, I have a problem. My kids want healthy food. No, sorry. Yeah, I wish I had that problem. My kids want unhealthy food, and I feel like a tyrant telling them no all the time. And if I could throw them something that they like, something that's good for them, oh God, that's great. So that's what drives our company is, how we do that sort of thing. So of course my phone's done on vibrate, so you hear that. So anyway, guys, I appreciate your input, and we appreciate the success we had so far. And again, if you hear me mention keto for you people that aren't wondering what the heck is keto, is that like what is it, a caretaker in Brentwood? No, it's or is that his dog? It's a diet that it's they've been so good to us, that community, that we're hopefully going to return the favor by whoever puts that in people's mind right now. Later on, they'll say, "Oh, I remember when so and so said that was a great way to eat." And the fact that you were the one that introduced that to your friends and family, that's kind of a cool little legacy to have, to say that you were on the winning side of history on how to eat. Let's face it, that's the best thing we could do for our family, is give them something that's working for us. You don't want to keep it to yourself. So anyway, guys, I appreciate it. We will talk to you later.